Have you ever worked towards something for months or maybe even years? You finally achieve it, and then you feel strangely empty. It's not disappointment exactly. It's more like you're just already thinking about the next thing. This isn't you being ungrateful. It's not a character flaw. It's literally how your brain is wired. Today, we're diving deep into the neuroscience behind why reaching a goal instantly creates a new desire, and why that incredible feeling of excitement often fades way faster than you expect. It's a phenomenon that affects everyone, from athletes to entrepreneurs to anyone who's ever set a New Year's resolution. And understanding it can completely change how you approach your ambitions. So let's get into it. Most people think happiness lives at the finish line. We imagine this huge burst of joy the moment we cross it. But your brain completely disagrees. The key player here is a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Now, dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that's a huge oversimplification. It's much more accurate to call it the motivation chemical. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes in anticipation of the reward. It's the chemical that fuels the chase. It gets you excited about planning. It keeps you going when you're putting in the effort. And it makes the entire journey feel meaningful. Think about it. The late night studying for an exam, the early mornings training for a marathon, the countless hours you pour into a project. That's dopamine at work telling you keep going. You're getting closer. But here's the twist. The moment you actually achieve the goal, the moment you get the good grade, cross the finish line, or launch the project, the dopamine drops. Suddenly, your brain's internal monologue shifts from, let's do this, to mission complete. What's next? The system that was driving you forward has effectively shut down because its job is done. The thrill was in the pursuit, not the prize itself. Your brain literally celebrates the chase, not the win. This leads us to a really counterintuitive idea. The moment before success often feels much better than the moment after. Why is that? It's because anticipation signals progress and potential. When you're anticipating something, your brain is flooded with the promise of a future reward. It's a state of high alert, high motivation, and high engagement. Possession, on the other hand, signals completion. It's the end of the road, and from your brain's perspective, completion means there's no more urgency. There's no more pursuit. And from an evolutionary standpoint, there's no immediate survival advantage in lingering on a past success. Once the food is eaten or the shelter is built, the brain doesn't see the point in dwelling on it. It needs to find the next source of food, the next safe place. So, the brain's natural tendency is to quickly move on. The satisfaction of having something is fleeting, while the excitement of wanting it can last for weeks, months, or even years. The dream of the vacation is often more exciting than the vacation itself. The fantasy of owning the new car is more thrilling than the reality of the monthly payments. Your brain is wired for what's next, not what is. Now, let's talk about what happens right after that dopamine drop. It's not just that the motivation chemical goes away. It actually falls below your normal baseline level. This is what's known as the dopamine crash. This crash is responsible for that strange feeling of emptiness, restlessness, and even a mild sense of dissatisfaction that you feel after a big achievement. You might have just accomplished something incredible, but you feel a little flat. This isn't because the goal was wrong or because you didn't actually want it. It's a purely chemical reaction. Your brain's motivation engine has not only stopped, but it's run out of gas and is sitting on the side of the road. To get moving again, it needs a new destination. It needs a new target to lock onto, which will restart the entire dopamine cycle of anticipation and pursuit. This is why, almost immediately after achieving something, you find yourself brainstorming the next project or setting a new, bigger goal. Your brain is desperately trying to get its motivation engine running again. It's not a sign of being unfulfilled. It's a biological mechanism trying to re-engage. This whole cycle might seem strange in our modern world, but it was incredibly useful for our ancestors' survival. Think about it from the perspective of an early human. Catching one animal in a hunt wasn't enough to guarantee you eat for the rest of your life. Building one shelter wasn't a permanent solution against predators or the elements. Achieving one success didn't mean you were safe forever. In that environment, stopping to celebrate for too long after a win was actually dangerous. Complacency could be fatal. So, evolution wired our brains to have a very specific response to success. Good. Now do it again, but better. This never satisfied loop kept our ancestors alive. It pushed them to constantly seek more resources, improve their tools, and find safer territories. The drive to always be looking for the next thing wasn't a bug. It was a core feature of the human survival machine. That feeling of what is next is an echo of a time when the next thing was a matter of life and death. The problem is, modern life takes this ancient survival mechanism and puts it on steroids. Today, our goals are often abstract and symbolic. We're not hunting for food. We're hunting for likes on social media, for a higher salary, for a better job title, or for hitting a certain number of followers. Our brains, however, don't really distinguish between these symbolic goals and the survival goals of our ancestors. It treats getting a promotion with the same chemical urgency as finding a new water source. But here's the critical difference. These modern goals never truly end. You can always get more likes, earn more money, or achieve a higher status. There's no finish line. The system that was designed for a world of scarcity is now operating in a world of endless abundance and infinite goals. As a result, the desire loop becomes endless. The chase never stops, and the dopamine system is constantly being activated and then crashing, leaving us in a perpetual state of wanting. This creates a huge amount of emotional confusion. You work so hard for something, and you have a clear expectation of how you'll feel when you get it. You expect deep, lasting satisfaction. You expect to feel happy and complete. Instead, you get this fleeting moment of joy followed by a sense of, is this it? You start to wonder, why don't I feel happier? Or worse, what's wrong with me? Am I just impossible to please? I want to be really clear here. Absolutely nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. Your brain is just doing what it was designed to do. It has already moved on. While your conscious mind is trying to savor the victory, your subconscious, dopamine-driven brain has already started scanning the horizon for the next challenge. It's already in the early stages of the next pursuit. This mismatch between our emotional expectations and our neurological reality is the source of so much modern anxiety and dissatisfaction. We're judging ourselves for a biological process we have no control over. So, what's the solution? Do we just give up and stop setting goals? Absolutely not. Ambition is a powerful and healthy human drive. The key isn't to kill your ambition. It's to change your relationship with it. You don't stop setting goals. You just stop expecting them to be the final source of your happiness. You stop expecting them to complete you. The shift is subtle but profound. You have to move your focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of being obsessed with the achievement, you learn to find joy in the engagement, the daily practice, the learning, the small steps forward. You shift your focus from the finish line to the feeling of being present on the path. When you do this, you keep your motivation system alive and healthy without the brutal emotional highs and lows. The process itself becomes the reward, and the achievement is just a nice bonus along the way. This is how you find stability without sacrificing your drive. To wrap this all up, reaching a goal doesn't end your desire, it simply activates the next one. This isn't a design flaw in your psychology. It's your ancient survival coding doing its job. The real skill in modern life isn't learning how to stop the chase. It's learning how to enjoy the walk. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into how your brain works. See you in the next one.